Installing the Go language on the Raspberry Pi. What I'm using is I have a Pi 4 with 8 gigabytes of memory booting off a SSD. I'm using my desktop computer running Linux Mint and Real VNC Viewer to get to the Pi desktop, although it looks like I could have used Tight VNC since Real VNC, although free for home use, is not free and open source software or FOSS, while it says Tight VNC is. Let's look at the 3 websites that talk about installing the Go language, how to install the latest Go on Raspberry Pi OS, install Go language on Raspberry Pi 3 and 4, using the Go compiler on the Raspberry Pi. So if you look at this one, which is the one that I pretty much followed, it says, if you go to https://golang.org download, you'll find the latest version available. And this is what he used. He said curl lo http, essentially the website and the Go language. This one essentially says a similar thing. Go there, select the ARM v6, and he uses wget. What's the difference? Essentially, they are very similar, but curl has more ways to do things versus wget. It says both wget and curl can download things. At their core, that's what they do. Wget, simple, straightforward. Curl, multi-tool. So, back to installing. This is what I used. I used the curl. You can use the wget. But, like this one says, go in and change what the latest value is. And if you go to the programming language, what you have is this one, 17.3 ARM v6. And that is what I have in the Raspberry Pi, 1.17.3 ARM v6L tar GZ. Okay, so what's the next step? And that is essentially extract the package for use. And he has tar. They both, all 3 of them use tar. This one is sending you to the wrong or a different website, and essentially Google made the Go language, and now it's a free and open software, so they have the golang.org as it shows here, golang.org. So what he does is sudo tar, the -c says put it in user local, -xzf is whatever, and then he does go splat.tar.gz. Essentially, it's the same thing as this. So essentially, he does the same thing, but instead of go splat.tar.gz, he's using the full name. Either one will work. And then he also removes Huh, that's strange, because he used 14.4 here and he removed 15.6 here. I think he should have tarred the 15.6 and then removed it, is what he does. And Gladius just sets it up to extract it. Now, do they both change the, no, he changes the profile and he changes the bash shell and he changes the bash shell. Essentially, all they're trying to do is set up the path for the, when you type in go run file name, that it knows where to get the binary executables. So if you look at this, you notice that it's user local go bin. So everything is set up so that you can start the Go program. And this is kind of a, well, a different way to do things versus, say, how we used V and Pi My Life Up used Nano. Whatever, just so long as the bash shell is set up. So if you did cat.bashrc, here's where the paths are set. And then you can check the Go language version by typing, and I've got 17.3. So the question that I came up with is, what should you set? Should you set your bash profile, or your .bash profile, your .bashrc, or the .profile? Jason says the difference between these files is primarily when they get read by the shell. If you're not sure where to put it, .bashrc is a good choice. So, there you go. And here's the tar command. The -c says this is where I want you to put it, and this says this is what I want to unzip. And I'm usually a monkey see, monkey do, but it does help to get things set up properly and know what you're doing. You've got your Go language. So if you cd to Go, so if I do a Go run toot.go, there you go. And what does toot.go do? How was I doing this? Essentially, what I was doing is using Nano. And that gets kind of old. So I thought, well, what kind of integrated development environment do we have here? We've got Geany IDEThis, which is just a Python IDE. They said Light IDE is great for the Go language. Well, I thought, okay, let's go here, get the latest, and I see no Linux 32. So you have to go down here maybe. Here's some Linux 32, and then it says Qt 5.5.1. I thought, oh man, do I even have Qt? What is Qt? So I thought, all right, well, what do we have? How about Geany? And here's a Geany IDEThis for Linux, and it says Geany can run Go language. So I thought, okay, let's start it up. And let's see, document, set file type, programming languages, and sure enough, here's Go source file. So I thought, that's great, I can do that. However, when I tried to run my Go files, it would give me a error 127. Thought, oh man, what can I do about that? And then I got in file, recent files, build, set build commands. Here's go run, go build. And if you look at the Pi My Life up, he has good information as to what all this means. So that wasn't working. It was giving me an error every time. And I could run it in the run it here, but I couldn't run it here. So as I was saying, I was having problems with Geany, an error 127, until I found this. And he says go to Edit, Preference Tools, and the terminal field should say something like this, and you have to change it to this. And I thought, oh, well, isn't that interesting? I think that's my problem. Edit, Preferences, Tools. So it used to read the same as that one, but I added environment, the go path, so it knows where to go. Once I had that on, I could run the program without any problems. Now, why am I doing this? Well, the main reason is because I'm kind of following CentDeck's Go language. But the reason I'm doing that is because I have the WeWix software listening to the IDEThis integrated sensor suite, and I'm using a RFM69 receiver, and it's not as sensitive as a software-defined receiver. So I have a software-defined receiver right here doing essentially the same thing, and it gets a lot more, but there was a couple problems. One is I got some kind of strange reading on rain, and then I noticed that it missed a rain bucket tip. So I'm going to probably go and take that software and modify it so I can depend on it and then use the software-defined radio. And that's why I added a Go language. And this CentDeck's also has a Python tutorial too. because Wix is Python based. And that is the end of that story.